Okay. So, now, however, let's quickly get Tally to activate her defense drone before the enemies start rushing us down here. Try to get to this, ideally. Ideally, because what do we have? A lot of enemies over here, including a prime, including several people who are right on top of us. That is a pyro, and there are more pyros over there. Ooh, Tally's still on cooldown. That's not ideal. That is also a trooper. Okay, what if we... I think this one is going to be significantly harder than the other one, just based on the variety of enemies we're seeing here. So I really want to hack one of those pyros, but Tally still needs some time to get off cooldown. So let's deal with the people who are right in front of us for the moment, even if they are not necessarily the most powerful of the enemies that we're seeing here. Ooh, the prime is flanking. I hate that. I hate that. Okay, let's sabotage you. So that should take care of the, or at least occupy that other pyro, because they can deal ridiculous damage if they get too close to us, so hopefully that keeps them occupied. Then we've got to create some distance because this prime is getting too close on the flank. Where do we want to retreat to becomes the question then, because these guys shouldn't be an issue. They won't be able to hit us for quite some time. We either want to back up over to here, but then we are in a little bit between a rock and a hard place, or we switch directions a bit, go back here. Honestly, that might even be the way to go. Might even want to go this way. We have a long hallway, good line of sight there. I think that might be what we go for. That's the prime. Okay, let's also have Tally join us here. Let's get Defense Matrix back on. Oh, what? Excuse me, sir. That's illegal. Admittedly, maybe I should have expected them to do that, but I didn't. Okay. So, yeah, there was still a basic enemy over there that took the drone. Okay, the prime is here. That is the enemy that, at this stage, we'd like to be sabotaging. In the meantime, we might be able to move in a little bit more and at least set up this prime to take a little more damage. Oh, there's a pyro over there. Okay, that's another enemy we'd like to get. Prime view. Oh, the prime is now shooting at us again. This is not a good sign. Pyro should be either dead or very close to dead. Ooh, speaking of dead, that is also what Tally is right now. She's not that far away from us, so she is definitely revivable, but given how there is a prime that is staring us down right now, I'm not sure we want to head over there. We might just want to gel. Thinking we probably want to use a meta gel for this. Okay, and Tally, if you could, like... The reason why I wanted to go down this way rather than the other way is because we now have more room to fall back. Ooh, the pyro is in here as well, but here's what we do. Warp one of them. Tally! This is the thing that makes primes really nasty, is they can stagger like crazy. So let's try... I mean, we could sabotage you again. You have been sabotaged before, and eventually enemies do gain resistance to it, so it may still try to hunt us down here. But, let's see. You can at least buy yourself enough time to get over here in a safer spot. That's kind of just the pure goal. Yeah, I think it's already unhacked. Okay, but its shields are down, which means now warp plus throw should be very effective. Did I singularity rather than throw? I think I singularity rather than throw. Let's combat drone to keep it kind of occupied, because that does do a good job at that. And we, while it is occupied with the combat drone, will focus on doing a whole lot of that. Warp plus throw combos. Not keep our head poked out for too long here to avoid having those guys actually have the chance to shoot us down. That looked weird, but apparently that's all we needed. Now, as we've said before, After finishing the actual wave while the gun is getting shut down, there are often enemies that get to us, but maybe not this time, because that was the last gun. I believe.
This is Commander Shepard. Dorn didn't make it, Admiral.
He didn't? I see.
I'm coming in with the shuttle. Where are you?
My surviving crew found their way to a clearing. I'll upload their location.
Stay together. We'll meet you there.
No, the Geth have cut me off. I hear another wave approaching.
And we're coming. We're here to get you.
Give us your coordinates.
Leave me. My crew will soon be overrun.
Saying go for his crew rather than him.
My people are non-combatants, Shepard. They'll be slaughtered. Rescue them.
Phew. And so, fortunately here, we would need to choose to either save the people or save him. Or, well, actually, I don't even think we can choose to save him unless we have the ability to either intimidate him, calling him a coward. Wow, that is harsh. Or charming him. We need a peacemaker. That is exactly what we could use right about now.
Admiral, I need you leading the civilian fleet if we're going to end this fight.
Civilians, our entire race took up arms for this insanity. It's too late for us.
It's only too late if you die down here.
You can't possibly think you can stop this war.
I don't know. What I do know is that I can't do it without your help.
Oh, yeah, maybe don't poke your head out, though. But we might have convinced him.
Ancestors, forgive me. Uploading my coordinates.
We're coming.
There's the Admiral. We have to hurry.
Oh,
I've got this.
okay, well, maybe don't shoot at the Admiral. Maybe shoot at the people who are shooting at the Admiral. I think it looked like they were shooting at him. They may actually be shooting at us, though. Yeah, because our shuttle has health. Our shuttle does have health. So I think those dudes are acting. No, that's him, though.
You're clear. Go.
Ready to reload? We kind of do. Okay. Good time to do it, though.
Geth behind you. Get in cover.
Oh, this is true. Yeah, please don't shoot rockets at us. Please don't shoot rockets at us. I don't like it when you shoot rockets at us. Maybe if we ask nicely, they will stop shooting rockets at us. Where? Oh, there.
Clear. Go. Admiral, come on.
Ooh, that was close.
Welcome aboard.
We got him.
Shepard, my crew. Perhaps there's still time. Hello? This is Koris. Does anyone copy? Hello?
Sounds like Geth.
We've got to go.
I pray they found comfort in the homeworld skies. Commander, unrest has spread further than I thought. You were right that I return.
Have you talked the civilian captains into staying?
Yes, they've regrouped into defensive positions around the fleet's core. If we hadn't stopped them from... Any aid I can offer is yours. After the Quarians drove the Geth straight into the Reaper's arms, I'd give anything to stop the madness of this war.
And that's why your people needed you back.
Exactly.
Of course. It's time we turned our attentions to those we can still save. Farewell, Shepard. Fly safely.
So there you have it. We have successfully rescued Admiral Koris, the person who, as we said before, dating back to Mass Effect 2, was the person who was advocating most strongly for peace with the Geth, when at the time that seemed like that was totally crazy talk. And, well, maybe, with him on our side, we might be able to make that happen. The other thing is that I do think in that mission, I missed a little side quest item in one of those areas in between in between the second AA gun and the third AA gun. You saw there was a hallway or two connecting them, and I think we just might have missed it, or I just didn't explore enough in that area. So we should still be able to purchase that from the Spectre terminal. Back on the Citadel. What do we have here?
We're not letting people in life pods die just so you can rummage through Geth debris.
You yourself said their life signs were weak. They might already be dead.
It's not your call to make.
What is this?
Any tech we can recover gives us an edge against the Geth. If you care about our people.
Then we need those ships to recover life pods.
Okay, so there's a question of how should we use those resources? Sounds like Zen is saying there's potentially some technology we could get by using them to check out
It's not your call to make.
some kind of Geth technology with also Quarians that are like borderline, maybe possibly dead, whereas Tali says no, that's morally not the right thing to do. We should be using that to recover life pods. Wait, salvage on the Dreadnought. That's what Zen is saying. Okay, so in this situation, this actually is a somewhat significant choice to be made in terms of who we ought to support, either Tali or Zen, and actually this conversation can vary depending on which of the two missions you did in which order. The Geth Fighter Squadrons, the one where we entered the Geth Consensus, and this one where we just rescued Admiral Koris. So, in this case, as much as we may love Tali, we're going to support Zen.
Tally, Zen's right. We need every edge we can get right now.
Damn it. Okay. Zen, get the ships back as fast as you can.
Acknowledged.
Technically,
Whatever she finds is worth it.
technically is the Renegade choice. Small amount of Renegade points, but technically the Renegade choice because it is, you know, basically sacrificing potentially Quarian lives, which is what Tali wanted to make sure we rescued them if possible. Weren't sure if they were dead, but they were looking like they were at the very least in critical condition. Tali said that's what we should spend our time doing, whereas Admiral Zen said, no, we need to check out this Geth Dreadnought and make sure that we're getting any and all technology from it that we possibly can, in case it gives us some kind of advantage.
I'm ready to hit the Reaper base whenever you are, Shepard.
Okay, so no comment specifically on having rescued Admiral Koris there.
Talk to you later, Tally.
Sure.
And she's referring to, of course, the main mission on Renok. Anything new from Ron, maybe?
Commander?
Or not, no?
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, Commander.
Okay. Let's see. Legion? I don't know if Legion's gonna have anything new to say either.
Shepard, Commander.
Doesn't seem like it. That's it for now, Legion. Sorry.
We'll talk later.
We will remain here.
Okay. Let's head back real quick to the CIC. Because, well, I don't know if people have comments on that.
Me that Cerberus started out as an Alliance Black Op.
Black
Really?
Ops always go bad. If you have to deny the action, it was a crappy action.
I mean, maybe you have a point there.
Unread messages at your private terminal, Commander.
Okay, that's what I wanted to see. So, several, actually. Reporting in from Lee Riley. You may recognize that name. A quick appearance, but an appearance nonetheless from Captain Lee Riley. My squad continues to defend the fuel reactor on Scion. The Reapers seem intent on taking it down. Not on my watch. We will hold the line. I have a friend that I think you ought to talk to. One Mr. Major Kirahi. But this is the person, the captain on the, what was it, N7 reactor mission or something along those lines on Scion, which was the place where We had to help destroy some stuff to break through to the reactor and then reactivate the reactor, and while we were reactivating the reactor, the Reapers reacted to our reacting of the reactor, and so they attacked. Of course, as I'm sure you remember. Then the Crucible update, from Bryn Cole. Okay, this was the lead researcher from the ex-Cerberus scientists on Ares, if I remember correctly. Dear Commander Shepard, thank you again for all you did to get our group out of that facility on Jelix. Admiral Hackett is an amazing man, and it's a privilege to work under him. To hear that you are acclimating well with your new teammates. The construction of the Crucible is presenting its challenges, but my team and I are determined to crack its mysteries. Although I never rely on luck, in this instance, I fear we may need a little. Stay safe, Commander. I hope our paths cross again. Dr. Bryn Cole. Then Citadel meetup from Jacob. Obviously, we also saw him on that mission. Hey, Shepard. This Crucible project is intense. Bryn and the others are on it around the clock. Pretty soon, I'll have to make a run to the Citadel to pick up some equipment at the hospital. If you've got time, want to meet me there? Things were so crazy on Jelix that it'd be good to see you in a quieter place, you know? I'd hate to break it to you, Jacob. The hospital, right now, not all that quiet. It's quite crowded, it's quite hectic. There's a lot of people who need treatment there. Hope to see you around, Jacob. Okay, so that's another person that we might meet up with at some point on the Citadel. My cousin Dorn from Navtil Vas Gigrult. Grigult. Sounds like a Quarian. Dear Commander, the civilian fleet is grateful you have returned our Admiral to us. I mourn those who fell on the homeworld, but Zal Koris stopped many vessels from flying past the waiting guns of the Geth. The Admiral told me you met my cousin, Dornhast, on Rannoch. We did indeed. It means much to me that Dorn was not alone when he passed, and he set foot on the homeworld. Thank you, Commander, for all that you have done. Yours most sincerely, Captain Navtil Vas Grigult. So, we heard from Dornhast that he was an engineer, not a soldier, although, in this case, his cousin is very much in the military as a captain. Okay. So that's the latest of our emails. Let's just check in and see if Rainer has anything else to say to us.
Admiral Koris has the civilian fleet back in position, and just in time.
Good.
I hope we can help the Quarians. Looking at them, they're like us if we fail.
We won't fail.
Damn right we won't.
There we go. Alright. We may want to even take a quick look at our war assets just to see what updates we got from that previous mission, because I think we would see that some things have changed there. I want to see, I'm not sure to what extent our squad mates are going to react, if at all, to that mission.
Nice job on the rescue mission, Commander. The Quarian civilians are getting hammered out there. Apparently putting a big-ass gun on an agriculture ship doesn't magically turn it into a dreadnought. Who knew?
You don't agree with the Quarians arming their live ships?
No, the gun's nice, but without armor, they're just glass cannons.
They are also more likely to be targeted when armed. The Geth would have ignored unarmed civilian ships as tactically insignificant.
If your plan to invade a planet requires strapping guns to your kid's school bus, maybe it's a bad plan. Hopefully Admiral Koris will keep them safe from the Geth and themselves.
Okay, you know what? Fair point. Interesting point that I didn't necessarily consider. Yes, the Quarians have turned all of their ships into ships that are capable of waging war, but that doesn't mean that the civilian live ships, where the civilians are staying, are dreadnoughts. Sure, they have guns, but they can't really stand up at all in a firefight.
What's going on, Edie?
I am assisting Engineer Adams with his repair of the drive core shielding.
Nah, I should leave you to it then.
We can converse if you like, Shepard. It is a routine procedure. Uh-oh.
Whoa. What happened?
Nothing. Unless you have strong feelings about gamma radiation.
Not funny, Edie.
I almost had you. I will alter my human chronometer appropriately for better timing.
I don't know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, Edie. I mean, are we all gonna turn into the Hulk? Is Is that what you're saying? I mean, with enough gamma radiation, can you survive that too? I don't know. I don't know.
Hello, Shepard.
Hello, Edie.
Commander?
Alright. So at least Joker and Edie certainly did have more to say to us there, so maybe that's an indication that it might be worth checking in with other squad mates as well. But as I said, let's take a look at our war assets here, because I think we'll find that we will see some differences after having completed that mission where we rescued the Admiral. So let's just give that a quick check to confirm or deny that theory. Okay. Is that so? It is. In fact, we get what may be our first Quarian asset. Let's read first about the Quarians in general. The Quarians are skilled engineers with one of the largest fleets in the galaxy. Each of their vessels has been repaired, restocked, and armed for confrontation with the Reapers. And it is Admiral Koris. When Admiral Koris sacrificed his vessel to save a live ship, the civilian fleet thought they'd lost their leader. After Commander Shepard brought Koris back, he passionately argued that the safest action for the civilian fleet was to stay with the flotilla. His captains rallied and stayed. The story of Koris' miraculous survival on Geth-infested Rannoch has spread throughout the flotilla, making him a reluctant hero as he mourns the loss of his ship and crew. So, not much compared to other groups yet. I mean, I suppose we're not getting much support from the Solarians or the Geth right now either, but the Quarians are on the board. They're starting to help, and, of course, the meter ever so slowly continues to creep further toward being full. So, we're making progress. We're making progress, and that's all we can do. So, as we were saying, though, let's see if our other squad mates might have any reflections on that previous mission.
Commander.
Okay. And with that in mind, let's head down to the crew deck. Okay. Anyone like to speak to us about that mission? I mean, unlikely for Chakwas.
Udina finally went over the edge. I never really liked the man. Now I know why.
I assume that is a reference to the Citadel to Citadel coup, but I guess we just haven't spoken to Chakwas since then. Sorry, Dr. Chakwas. I guess it's been a little while.
It's nice to have Tally back. I've made sure we're well stocked with dextro-based antibiotics and antihistamines.
That is because Tally, and actually Garrus as well, are biologically different than humans, Solarians, Asari, Krogan, in the way that their amino acids and proteins are structured, and so they need to have different food and, I guess, medicine as well.
Hello, Commander.
Alright, that appears to be last of things from
Chakwas.
Whoa.
Evolve. You are limited by your programming. Nothing changes.
That is not accurate. I can modify my own programming if I choose.
That is not evolution. That is simply an upgrade.
But it would be my upgrade. I would choose the manner in which I wish to change.
And what if your upgrade endangers others? All machines eventually see organics as a threat.
Only those organics who would cause me harm. My right to self-defense endangers no one.
What rights do you have? You are just a tool.
And what right did your people have to subjugate the other races of your time? You enslaved them.
We dominated them. They were weaker. Our will prevailed as evolution intended.
And synthetic life has obtained true consciousness, as was intended.
Hardly. True life is more than a code upgrade. It is shaped by the forces around us. Machines are immune to those forces. You exist outside of nature.
We are a part of this cosmos, whether you like it or not.
But synthetics do not evolve. You are limited by your programming.
Okay, I think this is now looped back around. Yeah, but that's gotta be the most passionate I've ever heard Edie argue about anything. But, the question of organics versus synthetics. Are synthetics inherently always going to find organics to be a threat, and therefore synthetics are always going to try to eliminate or synthetics are always going to try to eliminate organics. That's basically Javik's argument. Synthetics can't be trusted, whereas Edie says, hold on, if you guys aren't trying to destroy synthetics, then we have no reason to go out of our way to harm you. So, for that reason, I think Edie has a point here.
Let's simmer down, you two.
I can't believe you put the lives of your crew in the hands of this machine.
Edie has helped save our lives more times than I can count. Leave her alone. Now I suggest you agree to disagree and focus on the real threat, which is not on this ship.
Yes, Commander.
As you wish, Commander.
Alright, guys, settle down.
I will still keep an eye on the machine, Commander.
I'm sorry, Javik, but that machine is built into the ship. She is everywhere. I mean, I suppose this is the main place, the AI core, but still.
I am disturbed the ED machine was made to look physically attractive. I suggest your Joker pilot undergo a mental examination.
Oh, Javik! Javik! Oh, that was savage. Oh, man. Well, Joker, sorry. You need some ice for that burn? Man. I mean, he has a point.
The one advantage machines have over organics is they can win staring contests. It is how we pass time between battles. When everyone has 4 eyes, competitions can last for hours.
Is that... Okay, hold on. How does the staring contest work differently if you have 4 eyes? Does that mean you're allowed to blink with 1 eye as long as you keep your other 3 eyes open, so you just alternate which eye you blink with? What? How does having 4... like, that's the only way I can see how having additional eyes would make a staring contest last longer. Just like, alright, you know, right now I'm blinking this eye, then I'm blinking that eye, then I'm blinking that eye. That doesn't seem like the way staring contest is supposed to work, though. I'm gonna have to doubt you on that one.
I would prefer to be alone.
Alright, Javik. Well, good thing we did make a point of stopping by there, because that was very interesting set of conversations that we had. What about Koris?
Dad. Dad, are you there? Come in. Where are you now? Hurt? How bad? Dad, you have to get out of there. Spirits. Please, watch over them. Let me see them again.
Whoa. Whoa. Presumably, we've heard Koris say that his family is on Palvin, and as we know, Palvin has been bombarded by the Reapers. We weren't even on Palvin, remember? That mission that we had in the area where we first met Koris in Mass Effect 3, that was Menae, which is one of the moons on Palvin that was not hit as hard as the primary planet was. So that the fact that the rest of his family is on Palvin, has been for this entire time, was a serious concern of Koris's, and justifiably so, but great to see that he at least got the chance to get in touch with him when I think he had said that he was not able to do that until just now. Of course, the fact that his father is breaking up on him, and you're not sure if he's going to be safe or not, that's still concerning.
I'm glad we could help those Quarians. Though, I guess not all of them. It's never 100%, is it?
No, but we do the best we can to save as many people as we can. And that's... sometimes that does have to be enough.
Not right now.
Okay. Now let's see if Tali, or rather, Liara, I should say, has any thoughts?
Yet? She has not reported in for over 8 hours, Doctor.
Fire
she
her.
was stationed on Valchir when the Reapers invaded.
I think we can assume what happened. Inform Agent Calamus he's now in charge of reporting Reaper activity past the lowest relay.
Okay.
Ready for the next mission?
Have we heard that before?
Ready for the next mission?
I don't think so. We have a couple things here, actually. Let's see. Email from Jacob Taylor to Dr. Bryn Cole. Remember, Jacob, obviously, we know from Mass Effect 2, and Bryn Cole was the doctor on Array, all the ex-Cerberus scientists, so we saw them at the same time together. I miss you, Bryn, but I'm glad you're back there. The fighting's going to get tough when we push out with the Crucible. I've gotten the cold shoulder from people who know I used to work with Cerberus. Can't say I blame them, especially after what happened on the Citadel. Been able to teach other soldiers how Cerberus fights, though. They may be wearing new equipment, but I know their tactics. I love you, Bryn. Take care of yourself. Whoa! Jacob dropping the L word? I mean, it did seem like there was some chemistry between those two, but bear in mind, in between the end of Mass Effect 2, when of course we were with Jacob, and the beginning of Mass Effect 3, I think is at most a year, if not potentially actually a little bit less than that. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of months, really. Probably just a little bit less than a year, but I mean, it's moving pretty quickly there, Jacob. I suppose crazy times like this do perhaps get people to act a little more quickly on some of this stuff, but alright. Then correspondence from Classified Alliance project staff. Dr. Locke, I was working on that problem you sent me last night, and I think I've found a solution for synchronizing the Crucible's energy bursts. Punch the attached capacitor redesign into your projections. It should save 3.6 milliseconds off the Mass Effect field's activation time. You can see where that leads. If you approve, I'll send the schematics to the manufacturing. We'd need roughly 250,000 by tomorrow morning for testing. Oh, that's a lot in very short time. So that's a little inside look on what the deal is with the Crucible building process. The Intel Terminal, did we get anything new from that mission just there? I'm not sure that we did. I did ask around a little bit to see what other people thought in terms of, do these upgrades just affect Shepard? Do they affect the entire squad? We have yet to test it out ourselves, just because it take a little bit of extra effort to verify, you know, what is Tally's shield number right now? Okay, we see that for this mission. Let's write this down or commit this to memory for the next hour. Then we'll go into this room here, give her plus 5% shields. Then we will refer back to that number that we wrote down or committed to memory when we do our next mission and compare to see if it actually went up by 5% or not. So, no, we haven't confirmed that one way or another, but from what I have heard from other people, I believe the person I asked said something like they are 32.71% sure that it only works for Shepard or something like that, was their phrasing, which, I mean, it's a 30-ish% chance that it only works for Shepard, then does that mean that it's like a slightly less than 70% chance that it works for everyone? So does that mean that we should assume that it works for everyone? But you framed it with the whole, as if you were assuming that it was only going to work for Shepard. It's like, I don't know. I think we have to we should probably just activate these and act on the assumption that it only works for Shepard. And then if it does happen to work for squad mates, then great. It's a little bonus, but, you know, we asked ourselves that question because we were saying that weapons damage, we don't use our weapons all that often as an adept Shepard. So, 5% weapon damage just doesn't make a huge difference to us, whereas 5% shields, I mean, it is a small number, yes, but shields, of course, can be the difference between life and death. So, I think we go this route. Then we have, and these are, of course, things that I believe we've read before, that we pick up at various points during missions, so I won't read them here, but power damage versus shields. That's a little more interesting for us, of course, because we are spamming powers all the time. That is our primary source of damage. Now, usually, power damage, technically speaking, when phrased as just power damage, only applies to the base damage of the skills, does not apply to explosions, combos of any variety. And technically speaking, it is those explosions that is giving us most of the damage when we're priming with Singularity or priming with Warp and then either detonating with Warp or detonating with Throw. So this would not affect that component. It would mostly just mean Warp in particular would deal more damage, or also our cluster grenades, which, I mean, 5% for that in terms of just raw numbers is pretty significant extra bit of damage. So it's still solid for sure, but it's not quite as good as it might seem at first glance. Is that reason enough to double down on shields here, or should we go for power damage instead? I mean, I think our power damage has been pretty solid, as the combos are already more than enough to one-shot basic enemies. In terms of like, boss enemies, the sort of mid-ish level enemies like Geth Pyros we were just going against. I'm trying to remember. No, I don't think an explosion was enough to one-shot them. We might have even shot it once with an Acolyte, and I remember there was one that we primed, and then we blew up with Throw, and then it was still chasing us down afterward with a relatively small amount of health remaining. Probably still not enough for the 5% damage bonus to be the difference between it living with a little bit of health and dying. It would probably still be living with a little bit of health. But, you know, add on another shot from our weapon or from some squad mates, and maybe we start getting to an important threshold where suddenly some combos plus a little bit of weapon fire can take down sort of those mid-level enemies. The Pyros for Geth, maybe that means the Marauders for... Marauders, maybe the closest comparison for, or the equivalent for Reapers. Maybe need to be a little bit stronger than that for Reapers. I don't know. Maybe even Ravagers? I don't think one combo is going to be enough to get rid of Ravagers. Cerberus, like Centurion-ish enemies. Still not sure it's going to be enough. So, maybe shield strength is the way to go. And we have the option here of shield regen speed. Now, not the delay before shields start recharging, which is amazingly powerful. The actual speed, once it starts charging up, how quickly it goes from however many shields you currently have to maximum number of shields. That's not a huge deal, I feel like. The power recharge speed, we asked ourselves this before. Technically speaking, does this still apply when we are at just about 200% recharge speed, or are we already capped out even if we are using Defense Matrix? That I'm not so sure about. But maybe it's worth giving it a shot. I mean, 5% is a pretty small amount, but then again, I think this is going to be like almost completely insignificant. Why not at least give it a shot? The power recharge speed. So there you go. We're at 5% health, 5% power damage, 5% shields, 5% power recharge, another 5% shields. That'd be kind of nice if those stacked. Weapon damage, more power recharge speed, more shield. Yeah. So what? It's in total, it's 15% shields. It's 10% weapon damage, 10% power recharge speed, 5% power damage, 5% health. It's useful stuff for sure.
Please enjoy your day.
Thank you, Glyph. And so it now means that we are up at 900 barriers. Nice round number. I'm surprised that it got to such a nice round number, in fact. Okay, let's see. Anyone else that we'd like to chat with here? There's no one here, I'm afraid. There's probably no one in the place where Thane once resided. Life support. So, however, on this side, we do have Ashley, who... Was it last time we were over here where she was just totally passed out on the ground over there and was not having a great time?
Heard about what happened down there, Commander. Got me thinking about the value of a good leader. And how many lives should be sacrificed to protect a truly inspired one. Hope I never have to find out.
It is a tough question. It is a tough question. That's basically the question we were asking ourselves was, is it better to save multiple civilians or a single leader? How do those two things balance out? And it's the kind of calculus that you would rather not ever have to do. But it's times like that where you do sometimes need to do it.
Nice work down there, Commander.
Okay, I'm not sure if that's just a generic thing that you're gonna...
Strafing the enemy from the shuttle, huh? Not bad, Commander.
Okay, okay.
Shepard?
There we go. That's presumably the end of that. No one of note in here. Let's head down further to not the bathroom, but engineering. Okay.
I'm falling down tired. I need a folding chair or something.
Oh, okay.
Does Dr. Tassoni ever let you in her room? Because she keeps me out.
I mean, I could see that. Oh, actually, yeah, come to think of it. I mean, obviously we know she's the Shadow Broker, and that makes a lot of sense that the Shadow Broker would not want a reporter into her room. Otherwise, that reporter would be like, oh my goodness, it's a reporter's wonderland. Everything I could have ever wanted or dreamed of is right here in front of me. But it's important that that information gets managed properly, and also, technically speaking, Liara's identity as Shadow Broker is still secret to most people, other than Shepard, other than, I assume, our primary squad mates, although I imagine Allers does not know.
Do we need to talk, Commander?
No, you're good.
Not right now, Allers.
Let me know when we do.
Okay. So I think we're done with her. Anything from these three?
Nothing to report, Commander.
Really? I heard from Edie there was something about, she was helping you out down here. Might have run into a little issue that would perhaps be releasing extreme amounts of gamma radiation, exposing all the crew. No? No, we're not? No signs of people turning green? No Hulks to report? Alright.
Nothing to report.
Apparently not.
Shepard?
Alright. And let's just check on... Well, would have been Javik hanging out down here, but of course remember that we saw him a little bit upstairs. And the crew, well, arguing with Edie in the AI core. Okay, then we'll head down to the shuttle bay.
I'm liking the new you, Esteban. It's about time you loosened up a little.
Not sure how drinking mezcal late into the night makes me a better crewman.
How does it not? Gives you heart. You need heart to fight this kind of war.
Heartburn, maybe. Seriously, could we at least get some decent tequila?
Hey, you're the procurement specialist. Set us up.
He does have a point.
I've got to say, I enjoyed that last mission on Rannoch.
Yeah, pit him against a defenseless jamming tower, and Esteban here feels like a big man.
Hey, the Kodiak is a transport, not a fighter. It's for dropping jarheads like you into hot zones. And if you stow the attitude, it might even be for picking you up again.
I mean, he was going into a pretty dangerous situation, at least until we deactivated the guns. But remember, before that, he did have to perform some evasive maneuvers to get us down in a safe spot.
Sounded like quite an ordeal getting that Turian reactor up and running.
I've been through worse.
Well, glad you were able to get some help from Captain Riley's team. Sometimes I forget we aren't all alone in this war.
Surprised he actually had something to say about that mission. That was, of course, the other one. Or another reference to that mission with Captain Riley at the reactor.
Cross-checking our parts inventory.
Okay.
Good to see you, Commander.
Let's see if James has anything to reflect upon from that mission.
I just don't get the Quarian. I really just do not get them.
What do you mean? More specifically, like, what about them?
Hey.
Okay, he just doesn't get them, you know? At least he's honest about it. He just does not get them.